Hello everyone, I have with you the man of the moment, AIR2 Kalpesh Jain. Very warm welcome to you, Kalpesh, and congratulations for securing the all-coveted AIR2. So how did you feel when you got the call from the president of ICAI?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much, sir, for the appreciation. The moment, I think the time was around 10:25. I still remember, not long ago, I got a call from the president. It did not look like a landline number. It did not look like a Delhi number. So president called me like, we are calling from Central Council, and I'll hand over to president. And he said, congratulations, you've got an All India too. For 10 seconds, I went numb. I could not believe what is happening around me, because it is not something which usually get up and hear. And I felt it was a prank which was done by some of my friends, because they're very much capable of pulling this prank. Because the day before yesterday, I'm telling, just choose between 1 to 50, you will get the rank. So I asked him, can you just show me any bit of evidence that it is the president? And
Oh my
so he was like, the results will be out at any moment. You can go out and check. And then the line went dead. For the next 10 minutes till the results were declared, I had no idea like what to do. It was
Okay.
good feeling, but I don't know if that was really a call from president. And then eventually I checked the result, and it turned out to be an all India rank too, which is, I mean, by far I was not expecting a single digit rank, because it was really overwhelming to see that result. I
Of
was
course,
very overjoyed, could not express what was happening at that moment.
Of course, of course. And I understand that you have, this is the first time in your CA course that you are obtaining a rank. So in your foundation and intermediate, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, did you score a rank?
No, I have no rank. In fact, to go more further, my intermediate, I gave both the groups separately, like individually.
Okay.
That too, how it happened was May 19 was my first group. I cleared it. I took a break. I skipped November 19 attempt for two reasons. One, I wanted to enjoy my college life, because that was the primary reason I joined it. And secondly, fortunately, May 20, they bought an MCQ for the first time in all levels of CA. So I wanted to try that as well. So I cleared my May 19 group 1, May 20 group 2, and I had no ranks. And it's the first rank in my CA journey.
That's brilliant. That is an inspiration to everyone who is out there and listening. If you will truly believe that you can probably work hard, then sky is the limit. Kalpesh is there in front of you. So
yeah, so I want to just share an inspiration. I think the first spark of inspiration came from the person hosting himself. I think Bhavik Chokshi sir told in one of the classes that he got an all India rank only at the final level. And then when I was in the first day of my exam leave, or I think 10 days after that, I think November 22 results were announced, and there was a person who told, I did not have an all India rank at any of the prior level, and he or she got a single digit rank in that attempt. So from there, the thought process changed that I need to get a rank in final. So I prepared accordingly. But when yesterday I was praying, I just want to go on that side of the line, whether it be just 400.
Correct. I can truly understand. And I really hope that maybe in the next attempt, someone takes you as a reference and takes you as a role model to take.
Very much.
So tell us quickly in how, in terms of your preparation, how long before your exams did you start studying? Was it 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years?
Yeah.
How long did you start studying?
So everyone knows that around 2 years and 2 to 3 months, you have your articleship period, and post that you have a 5-6 months examination leaves. So my plan is very simple. If you want to complete, my plan is very simple. Before going into exam leaves, I wanted to make sure that I complete all the classes whichever subject I wanted to watch. So I was partly successful in that, except for one subject which I could not watch. So I started studying from the 7th or 8th month, because first 6 months I wanted to understand how the work experience is, the practical part of training is about. And then from the 7th month, I started my preparation, started watching classes alone. And I got an examination leave of 4 months. So by the end of December, I watched almost all the classes except for barring one subject. And from there on, in the 4 months of examination leave, I made sure that I had to cover up for that one subject. So I made sure I was consistent every single day. From the day one, I don't know, but I'm very happy to say that I put in the same amount of hours on the day one and on the day month 4, I was putting the same number of hours. There might be few extra hours on some days, but I was very consistent enough to show that the day 1 is going to be the same. The day 120 was also the same for me. So because I need to cope up for that one subject which was lost, for which I could not see classes. So 6th to 7th one is where I started watching classes actually.
Okay, okay. And when we look at your articleship, how did you balance your articleship? I believe you took video lectures in general.
Yes, yes.
So your articleship, your video lectures, and your revision, how did you manage? How many hours during your articleship would you study in a day?
Yeah. So first thing, I took all video lectures, Google Drive, not even the live lectures, because I was very sure that if I were to take a live lecture, I would miss out on a lot. And second thing is, it was more flexible for me to take video lectures because you can watch at your own will. One thing I made sure that despite the fact that I took video lectures, I saw it in the morning. So morning 6 to 8 or 6 to 8:30 would be a fixed slot for me, irrespective of what happens, because morning is an uncontrollable factor for you, but evenings, articleships can get stretched. I have come home the next day as well. So I have made sure that on most of the days, probably 95% of the days, I have ensured that the morning slot is booked for me. I watch at least one class per day. That was a simple quota for me. Finish the classes. I wouldn't say I did any revisions prior to that. 2 months before the examination leave, I took up one of the theory subjects and started studying by myself because I did not attend classes for it. So because articleship is a place where you will have both free days and you will have days which are really tight. You will be expected to stay back and finish all your works. So I had I still remember I took FR classes because I was put in a very big listed audit. It really got stretched. By the next audit, I understood that morning slot is where you have to capitalize on. So I ensure that in the morning I'm studying. So on an average day, if you're counting on classes, I used to study 2.5 hours a day, right from 7th or 8th month, where morning my slot used to be booked. So then I would not have to worry in the articleship or during the day that I have to go and see classes, because that was one baggage done for the day. Then I could come, okay, fine, 9, 10, bhi agar hota to, it was fine for me. So that is how I used to balance. And secondly, on the days, in case you come home early, you try to watch extra so that in case you're missing out on something or you are just keeping a buffer for the future. So in case you miss out in future, you just keep a buffer. So I think every class, if you're saying in and around 2 hours, because I don't think we are going to watch at 1x, we are going to watch at 1.2 or 1.5 is what we are going to do. Correct. So that is one more benefit of taking video lectures. So you get flexibility and you can increase the speed and watch. So I ensure that the morning time is very much fixed for me. So it was a little difficult for me to get up in the morning at 6 and study because I've never been an early person. So, but it was all worth it. Correct, today, correct. If I look back at the moment.
Yeah. Is my speed proper now? Am I at 1.5?
No, you were in fact very slow. I used to watch you at 1.2 or 1.3. And to be honest, one incident is you told me consolidation, you have to by chance finish in 30 minutes. Yeah. I used to watch consolidation lectures at 1.3 or 1.4 and I made sure I was finishing within that time. So it was effectively 22, 23 minutes for me. And you wouldn't believe, in my finals, I finished consolidation within 25 minutes. It was, wow. So my hands used to literally break when I was studying that. I still remember you told by hook or crook, you have to finish consolidation by 30 minutes. You can't take more than that. It still rings in my head. It is imbibed for me.
So tell us something about your FR strategy. How did you kind of plan for FR? What are the things that students should remember and do for
So
FR?
first thing, I'll really make it clear that accounts and financial reporting is the favorite subject. I love that subject. So whatever I say might have a little bias towards it because I like the subject. FR is such a paper that is going to set your tone. That is very simple logic because it's the first paper. It's the lengthy paper, but FR is a very scoring paper is what I really felt. FR, I finished the classes first and in the examination leave, I ensured that each and every standard, not even like the bigger standard, including integrated reporting CSR, I made sure that I read properly once. And then what I did was I struck down the questions which were very basic enough, which the chances are either very low to come in the exam or it is very easy for you to answer. So I ensured that I had a compilation of your book of all the questions. I just marked down the questions which I needed to do it in the first revision. So I ensured that the first understand what is the concept, get humongous clarity on what is the standard talking about, what is its intention, and are you able to answer all the questions? If not, write down these questions. And FR, one more thing I did was I made sure I was writing each and every question. For example, consolidation, I used to write 3-4 consolidation questions, and rest I used to at least prepare a draft balance sheet, like without all the rows and columns, so that I get the speed as well, because speed is very much important in all the exam, be it around for FR. So I made sure I'm writing each and every questions. Like in that is the first reading, then I struck down few questions, because if you read in the first revisions, what I did was I ensured that those questions which I marked in the first revision or first reading, I saw if I was able to solve it on a rough piece of paper. I used to just solve, because at that time I did not have much time. At the same time, I saw that bigger question which are more probable chances of coming, like your financial instruments or your consolidation or your leases. I wrote them on a piece of paper with the full format. And after the first revision, I gave a mock of FR, and you wouldn't believe that mock went horrendous for him, literally horrendous. I made blunders, like when I was copying the probabilities in 115, I made a mistake, like from copying probabilities. Then I understood that the exam scenario is going to be different. You have to be very thorough about what you're writing. I did not read the question that past journal entries. So I just did the workings and come. So the first mock literally opened the eye for me. Then I ensured that I'm reading the question. So that is a very important thing. Please give at least 2 marks for FR is my recommendation, because 2 things, your speed matters. If you have speed, you need to understand what the question is really asking you to do, and to able to pick really fast from the question and do solve it on the piece of paper is very important. Mock gave me that question. I made mistakes both in my first mock and second mock. I made some mistakes. Because I made that mistake, I did not do those similar kind of mistakes in exams. So in the third revision or second revision, when I came, I was reading the core concepts, doing the important sums, and just moving on. Because initially FR I took 12, 13 full days. Then it came down to 5-6 days, and then eventually 3-4 days. And finally also I took 3-4 days before my examinations. This is how generally FR works.
And FR, as far as I understand, all the 8 earlier and now 6 papers, is the lengthiest of all. So when even the video lectures go 300 plus hours, right? How did you continue that momentum in those 300 odd hours? How did you manage that?
See, FR is one thing. I had a personal liking to the subject is one thing. Second thing is, you have to understand you're going to learn something new every time you're going to learn, because it is a big shift from the erstwhile accounting standards. So the fact that you're going to learn something new, and this new is going to get tested in the exam. So because you have to understand that each and every standard is very important. For example, India's 108 operating segments came for 16 marks in our attempt. And if people had gone by ABC analysis, it would have been a real shocker for them. So I think, FR is by far the lengthiest subject, but I think it is also very important from a practical point of view today, because India is a country where now people are looking to us for investment. And I'm very sure that India is the future of the financial reporting. So it is not only because I was also in a listed audit, simultaneously I was watching FR classes. So that really kept me going. I was able to practically apply as well. So, but generally for students, I would just tell one thing, that FR is, just keep in your mind, FR is a subject that can make or break your group 1. If you prepare decently all the standards, there are high chances you might end up 80 plus, and that is going to boost you. So whenever you see it's a 300 plus hours, just think in the mind that it's another way for you to score an exemption, because it's a very, I would say, not an easy paper, but a paper if you have a conceptual clarity on, it's one paper, because you're going to get 4 or 5 days before examinations as well. So you can set the tone for rest of the examination. So I think that should be kept in the mind while studying, because more than anything, FR requires you to have conceptual clarity today, because institute will still play around all these standards. They might jumble up and ask a standard. We are seeing multidisciplinary case study now coming in paper number 6. So, it's a very fun subject, to be very honest. I really like that subject. So you will always get to learn something new, and you will always see a difference from your erstwhile accounting standard. So keep that in mind, and also keep that this is the first paper. And surely if this paper goes well, I'll tell you the confidence you will be on is very, very high.
Correct. And also just one more thing, a lot of students kind of, everyone is charged up. It is their CA final during their study leave. Were there days where you kind of felt a little down, a little demotivated? How did you get yourself out of that trap? How do you come out of it?
So it's only human for me or anyone else to feel that, dry patch is getting. So the first 1 month, 1.5 months, you'll be motivated to just push your best. And then there'll come a week or few days where you'll feel, why are we even studying this course? Why are you even living in this world? You're locked in 4 walls. People out are enjoying. You can sense that and all this thing. At the time, I just thought one single thing, 2 things kept in my mind. I don't want to subject these books again. I really did not want to. So it was an alarm, just भैया अभी तुम ये पढ़ लो, clear कर लो, उसके बाद चले जाओ. ये फिर हमको नहीं पढ़ना. I don't want to get locked in this 4 walls ever again. And second thing, if you're feeling bogged down, one simple thing, go back to the basic. Go think why you joined this course. Either it could be for money, for respect, or for your parents. Just think whether you have achieved that. The obvious answer will be no. Just think what your parents will feel when they see the 2 words pass and you cross the line and become a chartered accountant. Just imagine, take a break, take 5 minutes of your break. Imagine, just visualize how will your parents react if they see you as a chartered accountant. They'll really feel happy. You will get a sense of some different feeling. That feeling will keep you going. And coupled with that, think that you don't want to study this course again. You want to always be on the other side of the ocean, is what that really kept me going. And I had a study partner, 2-3 days once. We used to call up each other at late night. We used to crib about, you're suffering the same, I am suffering the same. Okay, it's less pain now.
You must have cribbed about me as well.
So it was like, you're also going through the same suffering, I'm also going through the same. Okay, it's less pain now. So, okay, fine. Life is not, everyone is not enjoying their life. So we used to crib technically a lot. That actually we were emoting a lot of emotions also, so that once we do that, we'll not have a lot of distractions. And one more thing, if you feel too much cluttered, take my sincere advice. What I used to do is take down a piece of paper, write down what are your issues you're facing, because it might be that you are facing only 3-4 issues, but when it's there in the brain, when you have not documented it, you might feel there are lots of things you're facing, but eventually it'll be like you're not sticking to your plans, or you're not completing the portions. It'll be like 3 or 4 issues only. So you can take a piece of paper, put it what problems,
flush it out of your system.
Yes, exactly. Because if it is in mind, it's going to just keep revolving around it.
And it's a very powerful thing that you just said, that how would you get it out? Maybe your parents have been kind of working hard for you for the last probably 20 odd years, and this is your time to probably give it back to them. So kind of.
So I have actually seen my parents, like, they made sure I had a conducive environment. I was undisturbed. They made sure my schedule was the priority. In costing, there's a concept of gold rat bottleneck theory, where everything you prioritize according to that. So my schedule was prioritized, even if their schedule was disturbed. They made sure I got breakfast, I got lunch, dinner, I got whatever I wanted. And in terms, my younger brother did really support me a lot. Wherever printouts, scanning, Xerox, any mails, if I want to forward, the next 15 minutes used to bring that to me and come, and immense support. Like, I can't just thank how much my parents supported me. They ensured that I was not disturbed even for a single second. And I mean, they did a lot of sacrifice, and seeing that, I really wanted to give it back to them. And even when I was praying, I was just praying that I want to see them happy. This is not for me. This is only for them. I want to make them proud, because I owe a lot to them, because I've seen them struggle. I've seen them do all the hard work. And today when I saw my mom cry, I was she was crying out of happiness. So I can't tell how proud I felt, because my parents are receiving calls from all over, and they're very overwhelmed about it. So it is on another level. So you can just keep this particular feeling as an inspiration to pull yourself out of all the slack and give the best you can, because first, just put all your hard work is what I would say.
Correct. And you've kind of managed to pay it back very, very well. Just one more thing, during these months, were you on social media? Were you kind of, did you spend time on social media? Were you off it? What would you suggest?
Yeah.
Students who are pursuing the course regarding social media and the distractions that surround it.
My view is very simple. It is a very personal choice. I would leave it to, because to be frank, I was there on WhatsApp, Twitter, and Telegram till even on the final day of my exams. But the only thing was I kept all my notifications switched off. So even if I would switch, say, my mobile data Wi-Fi for watching a revision lecture, any notification would not pop up. And even in WhatsApp, Telegram, I used to archive all the unnecessary chats or unnecessary group which were going around. I used to just have conversation with people who were studying with me, my professors, and my family. That's all. It's a very small group I had. I was there on Twitter just because Twitter was kind of, at the end of the day, I just want to see what's happening around the world. I did not really want to cut off. But in case if you as a student really getting distracted, my suggestion would be for you to go underground, have one app like Telegram where you get all the updates, or Twitter where you get all the updates, and you can shut yourself. I was not on Instagram for a while. I just shut down Instagram. I did not open it. So for me, it was very simple. I was there on social media, but the notifications were off, so I was not getting distracted. I made a conscious effort not to go towards social media, despite having it on the phone, or you can hide the apps as well. So it's like a very small psychology attention thing. If you see a notification, you tend to go towards it. So I cut the root cause of itself. I put my phone on do not disturb. So any calls, a notification, morning 6 till evening 9, it will not reach me. So it was off, so notification. So I mainly use it for YouTube revision videos. And in case you're really getting distracted, the advice would you to uninstall or maybe log off for them for a while. But it's a very personal choice. I think the student has to make, consciously seeing how he or she gets distracted, or how he or she uses the social media.
Correct. So probably we can be a little more selective. So maybe if YouTube has to be referred for revisions, we should not go into maybe too much of shorts, because it kind of goes into or reels, and maybe WhatsApp can be used for doubt solving. I remember receiving doubts from you as well.
I was actually texting you, also some other faculty as well. So I kept WhatsApp only for those limited purposes. I did not engage in any conversation. As I said, I was not watching any YouTube reels as such. I was very specific about my time. I kind of had a self-control is what I would say. Because I was very conscious that I was not ready to lose any kind of time. I wanted to put in those hours, I would put in those hours. So I was very conscious. So it's a very personal choice, I would say, in specific, because today distraction is very easy. I mean, in a span of a second, you can get distracted.
Correct. So anything else, any last thoughts that you would want to share with us, with our students, or anything that you kind of want to share?
So first of all, I would really like to thank on this platform Bhavik sir a lot, because even till 4 days or 5 days before exam, I had asked him some doubts, and he was very generous enough to respond it back to me. So the amount of the response, the dedication he has put into of looking into each student's doubt is amazing. His revision lectures were really amazing for me. I think they were a boon for me, because all the concepts, no book, you can just put because as far as the subject, if you have the concept, you can still go and attempt to some, it's not like the theory. So the revision lecture were very helpful. Like even before on the day of exam, I was just listening to his revision lectures. So it was really helpful. So from that angle, I would really thank you a lot for that.
Very humbled.
It's very generous of you to put out all there in the YouTube. And secondly, for all the students who are out there who are doing their CA, irrespective of how much attempts have taken or irrespective of what's going on, I would just like to say 3 particular things. One is keep the process very simple. I mean, plan, if you're getting 4 months, 3 months, or 5 months, plan it out. How are you going to achieve the whole syllabus, and back calculate each day what you're going to do? Because the fundamental problem with a lot of people is they don't plan, is what I've seen. Because once you start planning your day, automatically you have a standard cost. I mean, you have budget in your mind that this is what I've planned, what I've achieved, where is the difference going? And if you see the difference is too much, you start automatically putting in out, because you have a direction. So keep it very simple, plan for each day, trust the process, you will get the results, I'm telling you. Number 2, be amazingly positive, have a lot of faith on you. Today, if anyone is at intermediate or final or foundation level, it is purely because they were capable to be there. So have a positive mindset, like everyone is capable of doing it. My experience from no rank to all India rank to, it's only because I've manifested, I've been positive that, okay, let's go for a rank. It was never my thought before my examination leave. I've been positive, okay, let's do it. It's only 3 months, it's only 2 months, it's only 1 month, it's only 10 days. We kept pushing each other, be absolutely positive, because you can almost outdo yourself, as I did today. I mean, I would just give one example of Virat Kohli. If like in 2008 or 9, I'm not sure, he played an innings, you had to chase down 300 plus in a 40 overs match to get a bonus point against Sri Lanka. And no one was expecting India to win, but they won that match because they hadn't, that guy came out positively and he scored a century. So I want you guys to be really positive. Don't have any negative thoughts as to what will happen, what is going to be. It's just going to be the result. Result is something not in your control. Be humongously positive is what I would really like to say, and keep things simple. And finally, be consistent. That is the motto: consistency. You can't
Correct.
keep. I mean, be consistent. If you're studying 8 hours, study 8 hours. If you're studying 10 hours, 10 hours, because then you will recognize your pattern. Okay, between this time to this time, I'm at my peak. I can study a difficult subject. Between this time to this time, okay, I'm a little dodgy. I can do a subject which I'm very confident at. So you will know your timing, you will know your pace, you will know your peak hours. So be very consistent. You will recognize a pattern. So 3 things: keep it simple, positive, and consistent.
Correct.
It is a simple examination. Is at the end of the day, it's an examination. You have to simply go and score 50. I think that is very much possible.
Discipline eats consistency. Discipline eats motivation for breakfast is what I've read.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of be disciplined and you can achieve everything. So
Exactly.
consistency is the key. And I really hope that you are as consistent and you keep on growing higher and higher. You reach more heights. Thank you very much, Kalpesh, for being with us and sharing so much insights with the students.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Wish you all the very best for
Thank
all
you,
your
sir.
future endeavors. And
Thank you.
that
sir.
is about it. Thank you very much and good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.